are looking at Carrie Beasley. So homepage, what are we first trying to get a sense of? Who is Carrie? What does Carrie do? I don't know. I've never heard of her before. Okay. So Carrie Beasley, let's see, senior user experience researcher, New York City. Okay, great. So now we know a little bit more about Carrie. I just want to go back to the chat and make sure you guys are still here and we haven't had a meltdown or anything. Okay, you guys are saying everything is good. Okay, great. Let me go back to Carrie's. So, oh my goodness, let me start my timer. Okay, so to me, again, same feedback for Carrie that I gave to Miguel. I would love to see more of a section on your homepage that is communicating who you are and what you do. What some things to think about are, you're a senior user experience researcher. Could you tell us, imagine, above this stuff, you have a section like this big or something that has 1 or 2 sentences. Hi, I'm Carrie Beasley, a senior user experience designer with 6 years experience working in the financial industries. I just made that up. I don't know if that's true, but in an instant, then we learn a lot more about Carrie, and it is educating us about who Carrie is without requiring me, the user of your portfolio, to go over to your about or download your resume or go to your LinkedIn or something like that, right? You have to think about the user of your portfolio. So that would be my first suggestion to Carrie. What types of projects has Carrie worked on? Okay, so I'm seeing some on the homepage. I'm seeing this thing, large scale usability testing for, I guess, Chase, JP Morgan, you invest. Okay, so experience in the financial industry, and then another financial project. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of evidence of research, usability testing here, stakeholder interviews here, research and stuff here. Okay, so I am feeling confident that Carrie really does have research experience, because not just because it says it here, but because on the homepage, I'm seeing 3 examples of research projects. Now, think back to Miguel's. Remember, Miguel's had the colored squares on the homepage with just images and no text. Carrie's is doing what I recommended. Carrie's homepage is communicating a lot of details about this. So now when I click into these, I know that this one is large scale usability testing and this one is stakeholder interviews. So good job on that. Let's see. One thing that I would recommend, I might bold your titles of your projects, because it's kind of getting lost. I think just by simply bolding it, it could be a little bit clearer. Minor suggestion, but that could be helpful to just think of the hierarchy. You want the title to really stand out. So I would do that. Let's see. Can I easily contact Carrie? Yeah, there's a contact there. Let's not bother clicking over to it. And Carrie has a footer. This is probably a template issue, but it's kind of weird. You have social things there and there, FYI. And there's a contact link in the footer. That's great. Okay, so Carrie is somewhere between good and amazing for all the about stuff. Now we're going to go into one of Carrie's projects. Let's go into this one, large scale usability testing. I know I'm going so fast, guys, but hopefully you'll be able to set aside some time and watch this again and again, because I promise you, sometimes seeing it on other people's portfolios makes you realize changes you can make to yours. Now, one of them I know is not password protected, so let's go to this one and hope it's this one. Okay, so what the heck is this project about? Is there a strong story of what happened and why that happened and how that happened? So let's check it out. So onboarding an enterprise cybersecurity platform with independent financial advisors, contextual inquiry. Okay, a couple of things here. I think just thinking comments from the homepage, if we could bold this and make it like stronger as this is the title, Carrie is a user researcher. So Carrie's portfolio may not be as visual as other people's. However, I have seen user researchers add in visuals to help support what they're communicating. So if there are visuals, because I haven't scrolled down, so I don't know, one tip would be at the top of your kind of detail page for your case study, could you put imagery? Maybe it's like this, maybe it's here. I don't know. We're not going to design it right now, but the point of including imagery at the top of page, is to really kind of like give people a preview, kind of entice people, give them a sense of the deliverables and what we might see if we kept scrolling. So maybe that exists, maybe that doesn't, but maybe you can apply that to other projects. So I'm not really sure what company this was for. Maybe we'll learn that as we scroll down. I really like this Our Impact section. That's really clever to off the bat immediately communicate to people some of the wins or outcomes from the project. I love it. So I'm still not really sure what this is for, although now I'm remembering because it says workplace, but you might want to just give a summary, like over on the homepage, whatever the company name is, let's call it workplace because I forget. Maybe you could just tell us like workplace is blah, 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 blah. What is the elevator pitch of that company? Because if I've never heard of it before, I will immediately start to feel lost and I won't really understand what's going on. So, okay. Market leading. So we're seeing this. And okay, one thing to think about. These little captions, to me, these are useless. Maybe this is part of this template, but it's so small. I'm lost, especially if I haven't started scrolling yet. I would really recommend to you that you just delete this, but communicate. It says, welcome screen for the onboarding flow before research started. Okay, so at the top here, in the same way that you have like a nice title here, could you have text here in say font 14, kind of like the size of this, saying something along the lines of like workplaces existing onboarding, had this problem, this problem, this problem or something. But I see what this, this is actually very small, but I need the context of what this is because I don't know what I'm looking at and this is not sufficient. But I know it's the onboarding flow before research started, but I want to know like, okay, why was this so bad? Why did we need to improve it? Next, so the challenge. So I don't know what OS33 is. Be careful about using like acronyms and stuff. Could you just say like the team or the company or the client or I don't know what? So you made this quick start wizard thing. The objective was, how might we create a way for 3,000, da, 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 da. Okay, so we've got objective. There's a big space here. That's kind of weird. I might tighten that up. So what did you do? You did research. Okay, try and think more of the details. Stakeholder interviews. Could you say 10 stakeholder interviews? Like how many? Were they in person? Were they remote? Etc. Contextual inquiry, personas. Okay. Evaluative research. Okay. So I get the feeling we're still kind of in the intro section of this project. Team. Okay. User panel, methodology, research objectives. Okay, I have a feeling we might be getting into the research details. So I might think to yourself, how does this case study break down? Like, it seems like there's maybe an intro section, and then here, should it be like, okay, we're in a new section. Now this is all about research. Because right now it's just starting to feel a little long, and I'm starting to feel a little lost. Obviously, I can't read all the text on each of your case studies right now, so we're really just going kind of content section by section to see if there's any kind of glaring mistakes here. I love that you're talking about the research objectives. That's really clear. It seems like you're talking about a problem, how you and your colleague had competing goals. So that's great. So then, okay, this is a little small. I'm wondering, like, could this be, this big or something? what are the problems here? I'm not sure if this is the before or the after. Again, small captions. Let's not do these in the future because they're just hard to read. And it's much better if it could be a sentence or two at the top that is explaining this a little, but it's so small I can't read it, what's in these boxes. Then we did contextual inquiry. Okay, I am not really a fan of seeing this. I don't really need to see your handwritten notes. What I'm more interested in is, what did you learn from the contextual inquiry? Or could you tell us about, like, during the contextual inquiry, we interviewed, X number of people with the goal of learning this, that, and the other. 3 key findings or themes were, theme 1, theme 2, theme 3. But just seeing your notes, it's not really communicating much to me, the user of your portfolio. It's kind of like when I see photos of whiteboards and sticky notes, it's like, okay, I'm glad you put sticky notes on a whiteboard, but what does this mean, right? So findings, presentations. So you did your findings. Let's see. Okay, you have your 3 findings here, here, and here. Here's a couple of suggestions. Don't worry if you're not a visual designer, but this is a place where, as a researcher, you could make your portfolio a teeny tiny bit more visual by adding in some imagery. I wonder if there is a screenshot of the existing product or an image or an icon or something that you could put here, at the beginning. I mean, not literally here, but you could imagine having an image associated with each of these. Maybe you change the layout so it's 3 columns and there's, an image here, and then your text flow. So again, I wish I could draw all over these screens, but I can't. But that's just an idea. I use Noun Project to grab a lot of icons. It's super cheap and a great resource, especially if you don't want to draw your own stuff. We're seeing this. Again, same feedback. I don't know what I'm looking at. What is this? What's the point of me seeing this? I don't know. To me, it's like, for all I know, it could be stock imagery, right? Okay. I feel like this is communicating that you are great at research. You have a wide variety of research skills. You seem to be really great at synthesizing the research because you're talking about the stakeholder presentations and things like that. Let's see. These, I'm not really sure what these are. You have these little numbers. So I think, could you create more of user flow here? Like, Bob, the new customer, is signing up for Workplace the first time. He needs to do X, Y, and Z. On this screen, Bob is whatever. Next, Bob needs to do this, that, and the other. But I guess I see CM, but I don't know who CM is. So think about how you could turn this more into like a little bit of a story through integrating a persona that you might introduce. Same. I think the other thing that's throwing me off is, like, you have the text that's explaining this all in this image, but it's just a little confusing. I wonder, like, as we're scrolling down this page, imagine you had text here that is explaining the image, and then it could be bigger, and it just, oh, I think it's going to lock us out. Anyway, yeah, I don't know what just happened, but we have to move on. I hope that was helpful. Let's move on to the next one. Yes, it was more than 6 minutes. Sorry, guys. Okay.